Would love to know what founders should be aware of when they're operating in a regulated environment like higher education.
For better or worse, universities are now operating in a very highly regulated environment. In England, they have the Office for Students now, but there's also professional regulators. They've got the Home Office that they're thinking about in relation to international students. There's charity and statutory regulation, as well as things like freedom of information and regulation of data and use and reuse of data through things like GDPR, which everyone is obviously subject to. The downside of that for universities is the complexity, the burden, and often some of the regulatory requirements can be quite opaque. And for large organizations that are quite diverse, navigating those landscapes can be quite challenging. Sometimes it can make universities a little risky as they look to think about how they comply and how they think about some of those requirements. The upside, and maybe universities don't always see it in this way because they often will groan under sort of all the regulation they have to deal with, but it does give them the impetus to push things forward in certain areas. So, for example, the regulatory focus on things like consumer protection and student experience that we've seen through the Office for Students in England means that universities now have to be thinking really carefully about what they do in those areas and how they do it, and bring it really into the center of their thinking. And there's also a focus on things like addressing student mental health, creating more inclusive, safer learning environments, making sure universities are focused on their role in terms of equality of access and driving opportunity and those kind of things. So I think those are obviously areas where actually founders are all, and edtech startups are all operating and helping provide solutions. But I think some of the things that you probably need to be aware of in that context is making time to consider some of those requirements, knowing who some of those regulators are and what they're asking universities to do, because that will really help understand what's on universities' minds. For example, if you're looking to work with an English university, take a look at the OFS website, understand what the broad level of some of those requirements are. Things like the Teaching Excellence Framework, what that's asking universities to do. It's quite important to understand that because those things will be really prominent in universities' minds. The other thing to remember as well is, I've talked a lot about England, but whilst we've got a broadly recognisable HE sector in the UK, there is difference between England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland as well. So if you're operating in those different jurisdictions, it's important to sort of think, well, actually, universities will be under a different set of regulations. And often the changes can be subtle, but they're quite significant. So it's important to understand that. I think regulatory compliance can be complex, but founders can help with solutions. For example, the OFS has got a big focus on student outcomes. So universities will be thinking about strengthening connections with employers, how they provide internships, placements, those kind of things. And I know that's an area where that founders are already looking at. If nothing else, awareness of those requirements will help make sure that founders are using the same language and understanding what's on institutions' minds. That's a sort of really important thing. And then, I mean, obviously come back to data, it's a really important area. Understanding how universities are thinking about using their data and some of the requirements on them. There's ethical and other legal and regulatory issues that universities are tackling. Does the university have a data strategy? Is that something that you're aware of when you're connecting with the university? Expectations for how data is used and managed is critical in terms of building some of those relationships. And that's an area where sometimes there can be a bit of dissonance in terms of where the founders and startups might be coming from and where the university is as well.